So, week one. Let's do a game preview. I can't believe we're here, guys. I'm so excited. But yes, we got to take on the Cleveland Browns, week one of the season. And it's going to be a tough game. It really is. And Browns fans will never shut up about the fact that, yes, we have beaten them one time since 2019. Congratulations, guys. Just, enjoy that fact. Enjoy that right here fact, too, because, yeah, you guys talk a lot of talk about the past and history, but I'm sorry, you guys have to remember that there is a long history between these two teams. And yeah, it is definitely an interesting situation. Right now, we lead the series 52 to 47. So please, thank you. Nonetheless, though, again, like I said, giving the Browns their credit, it's going to be a tough game. They are a great team. They are a good team. Listen, they're like a mediocre team, and I think they're going to be a really... I'm just kidding, Browns fans. That was just to get you guys riled up. I promise. No, they're a good team, though. And they do have a lot better coaching than they had in the previous years. So they're definitely going to be a tougher opponent. And they always seem like they have our card, right? As of recently, especially on the Joe Burrow, they always seem to have our card whenever we play them. So it's going to be a tougher matchup. But if we go ahead and look at the depth charts and kind of break this down today, let's go ahead and talk about what I like and what I dislike, what I expect, and how I think the game's going to go. So, starting off right away, yes, Joe Burrow's going to be playing this game. I know that the Browns fans have been absolutely rejoicing, thinking that they're not going to be playing Joe Burrow and they're going to be playing Jake Browning, and they got so excited for that, so ready for that. I love to be the bearer of bad news for you guys, but sorry, Browns, but Daddy's home. And Daddy's back. So Joe is back. Joe is ready to go in this game. But I say the real big thing about this game, my keys to victory in going into this game is, number one, I want to see the rushing attack. I want to see us being able to run the football effectively, get Joe Mixon involved, get Chase Brown involved. Obviously, we're going to see Travion in this game. Chris Evans. I want to see the rushing attack really take off this game. Don't get me wrong. I love the fact that Joe Burrow could go out in this game and throw 300 yards and absolutely dominate. I love that fact, right? But that's not what we need to do in this game. Especially week one. Obviously, Joe's coming off a calf strain. He's 100%. But there's no reason to really let Myles Garrett in this game impact the game or control the game. How do you stop players like Myles Garrett, TJ Watt? It's not easy. How you stop them is a good run game so that they can't blitz you and stack up different blitzes against you. Play action passes work better, and then you can open up the pass game. The way you get the pass game going is a good run game. The way you help out your offensive line, even though this year is so much better than previous years, is by a good run game. So that's number one key to victory. Get the run game going, get it early, and get it going throughout the game. You control time possession, you control the game, and you open up the pass game. That's number one. Number two, this offensive line, although it's for the most part, everyone here has been with each other forever, it seems like. Obviously, only a year and a half at this point. Orlando Brown's brand new, right? So he is the new guy in town. Like, he's a new kid in town. So I want to see this offensive line not only work as a unit, because again, they are going to be going against the Zarius Smith. They are going to be going against, Myles Garrett. They are going to be going against a really good defensive line the Browns have. I want to see them produce at a very high level. The reason why is because this game and next game are going to be the toughest games of the start of this season, where we're going to have to protect Joe Burrow. And trust me, I understand, Browns fans, you guys would love nothing more than be able to get Myles Garrett in that backfield with Joe Burrow. But guess what? We need to let that not happen. We need to do everything in our power to get our guys up front. And if that does include short, simple passes, quick throws, get the ball out of Joe's hands, just keep on keeping on. Again, avoiding as much blitz packages as we can for this upcoming game. That's going to be our best bet. And while I think our offensive line now is fully healthy, I am not scared at all for them to, crack, or it's going to be like an impenetrable wall, I feel like, week one. It's always good to help them out. right? So I want to see how they orchestrate, but I need to see them play at elite level. And of course, I speaking of that, even though Jonah is part of this line forever, it seems like now because he was left tackle, he is the new cog at the right tackle position. Now, I'm not expecting Jonah to go out there and absolutely dominate every single play against us. I mean, for us, right? But what I want to see is he needs to be consistent enough and not become a liability. And those are the type of things that, let's be honest, in football happen a lot with the offensive line, especially right tackle position. Remember last year how our season ended in KC was because Akeem got destroyed on the right tackle by Chris Jones. Chris Jones, Myles Garrett, pretty much the same guy, okay? It's not really that much of a difference. Zarius Smith, pretty much not, I would say same guy, but he's up there too, right? So, Jonah's going to have to be the X factor in this game. He's going to have to protect our quarterback, make sure that the guys do not go right past him. It's going to be a tough game, but I think Jonah's up for the task. And Jonah claims he is ready for this type of game. So I want to see this. And again, keep in mind, the only reason he played preseason football, by the way, that he said he went to the coaches and he wanted to actually, he asked to play, which is amazing. It shows that he wants, he has the mentality of, I need to be the best I can be, period. Number 3. The 3 keys to victory here, guys. Number 3, secondary. Now, listen, I'm not expecting our secondary to go out there and put up interceptions. I'm not expecting our secondary to go out there and make Deshaun Watson look like a D3 quarterback from freaking, I don't know, a small school in Texas. I don't know why I said Texas, but whatever. I'm not expecting that, okay? Our secondary is young. It's brand new. They're just getting the, I guess as Lou said, their feet underneath themselves. He said it about Jordan Battle coming off injury. They're just getting the feet underneath themselves, right? They just had training camp, preseason, also, processes. They're just getting orchestrated with each other. Now, our cornerback core, they've been together for a bit of time, right? Cheeto, Cam Taylor-Britt now, Mike Hilton, obviously DJ Turner and Poison Ivy are brand new, but those guys, they have that rotation. And one thing I do love about this defense under Lou here is there is a lot of communications. There's a lot of talking back and forth and really, getting that system down. And Mike Hilton has done a great job of training these guys and really teaching them like his veteran, ways. So with that being said, I'm not expecting anything insanely crazy from this secondary. What I want, do your job. Cover your guys correctly. If you make a mistake, do not get over emotional. And that does go a little bit to Cam Taylor-Britt, who, we saw this offseason during training camp preseason, that he got a little emotional when if he would mess up. And I understand that, but listen, you can't let one play dictate how you play the rest of the game. You really can't. You got to keep your head on straight and continue to go after and make plays the whole entire game. So I'm going to say right now, it's really going to be a kind of like a gauntlet for this secondary, being so brand new, being so, not as veteran, based as we have had in the years past with Jesse Bates and Von Bell. It's really going to be, don't do too much. That's going to be my number 3. Keys to victory is don't do too much for the secondary, for the for how young our secondary is don't try to jump a route and jump a play if there's a chance you're going to give up a touchdown. Don't do something that you think, oh, well, I could do this, but it might risk something, but guess what? I'm going to make that play. Don't try to be a hero in this type of game because mistakes, issues, big plays, that can dictate how this game goes. It's the AFC North, okay? The AFC North is the toughest division in football, and all these games are the closest games humanly possible. And one play, yes, one single play can dictate the outcome of these games. These games can be decided by 3 points, by 7 points, by 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You name it, it's there. One single play can dictate how these games go. It's not the case with every other team in the NFL, but it is the case with the AFC North. So when you have games like this, they're going to be tight, they're going to be crazy, but you have to make sure, again, if you can get the interception, that's amazing. I'm so happy for you. But if you are going to risk something in this type of game, there is no risking. There is no mistakes that you can't come back from in this game. It is what it is. That's how why the AFC North is so beautiful. Now, I will say overall wise, taking a look at their depth chart and kind of seeing, my whole breakdown here, they have a good receiving core. They do. They have Mari Cooper, Peoples-Jones, Elijah Moore, and then they just drafted Cedric Tillman in the 3rd round. Now, Marquise Goodwin, I think he's out for this game. I know he got reinstated from his blood clots, but I think he's still going to be out for this game. But overall-wise, I will say this offensive line, they have a very good, solid offensive line. I want to make sure I'm actually just checking this now for Marquise Goodwin to see his status for this game. Updates on Desnell Ward. He joins practice a day ago. Gene Grant is out for the year, which is not a big deal for them. That's just their kick returner, which is actually pretty dang good. I mean, it is definitely going to be a problem. The kick returner's out, but it's not as much of a problem as, like, for example, if Amari Cooper was out, right? This is not a guy who was catching the ball too many passes. Cleveland, however, is getting another key receiver back as the team announced that Marquise Goodwin was cleared to come back off the non-football injury list. Goodwin missed training camp because of blood clots in his legs and lungs. So I'm going to guess he's playing then. I would guess he's playing if he's cleared and he's processing. So that means that's another weapon they have in this game. So another player here, David Bell, I think very underrated player. And even though he's a Cleveland Brown, he's still very underrated. So that's going to be another really good piece for them. So it's going to be, again, keeping this secondary under wraps. But the guy that I'm really scared for this game is Nick Chubb, okay? And he's going to be utilized a lot in the passing game in this game. And that's going to be really testing Jermaine Pratt, Logan Wilson, Hakeem Davis-Gaither. We got no Joseph Asai. So this is going to be really testing our linebacking core to not only track him out of the backfield, but if he lines up as wide receiver, this is going to track our safeties and our corners to really shut him down. Now, the good thing is Nick Chubb really in his career has not been that crazy of a wide receiver. If I go ahead and pull up his receiving stats real fast. Let me do that real fast. Nick Chubb. There we go. Zoom out here. Receiving wise, 239 yards, 174, 150. So again, he has not been like a crazy wide receiver, right? He can catch the football. We know he's very talented. Listen, he's the best running back in the league for a reason, okay? He's a very talented running back. But we're going to have to make sure, again, check down options, screen passes, him line up a wide receiver. We cannot allow him to be the problem. Our keys to victory against the Browns here, I would say those 3, but I'm also going to say the other one I would say, Nick Chubb. Shutting down Nick Chubb. Because he is going to be the guy who's going to change this ball game. Deshaun Watson, I'm not too scared about week 1. I think he'll get better as the season progresses, as he's more games in this offense and getting more, progression with the Cleveland Browns. But I think this week 1, I'm not too scared about him. I am scared about Nick Chubb, though. Because Nick Chubb can be a difference maker. He can turn this game from, a slow scoring game, a slow game in general, to one big play tutty, and everything changes. So, guys, that's my keys to victory. This upcoming game. And my game preview. Peace out, guys.